you doing, YouTube? What is up? What is up? What is up? How are you doing? Good to have you here. New week, new opportunities, right? And let's see if we can catch a little bit of a move on Bitcoin. But before we do, I have a special surprise. And I have a special surprise for Adam Kugas, because it isn't the first time that Adam replies in either the comment section of YouTube videos or today in a live stream that technical analysis of Bitcoin doesn't work. We would all be millionaires if technical analysis of the market works. So therefore, today I got a present, which basically means I click on the three dots, hide user from this channel, and see you later, motherfucker. So there we are. Good to have you here, everyone. I hope you're doing very, very well. We don't have time for people like this. I already explained to him previously in a comment section very patiently on, hey, fundamental and technical analysis, both can work, right? Depends on the plan. You need a strategy, something with probabilities. I respect technical as well as fundamental analysis. I think both can work perfectly fine. But yeah, if you're that stubborn and keep replying on every video that it doesn't work and all that stuff, then get the fuck out. So, good to have you all here. What a start of the stream. Very nice, very nice. Andrew, welcome. Good to have you here. Name, what's up? Waves indeed. Mr. Seeb. Archbit, I also see the hand there. Mateus, how you doing? Papa, Dr. Daddy, what's up? Flotty, Saraga, let's go indeed. Let's see if we can catch some volatility, no? While we are live here. Saeed Razea, how you doing? Welcome. Abir, Ibrahim, good to see you here. And we have Skywalker, good morning. Balls move. Crypto Aman, lost my mom. Sorry to hear that, Crypto Aman. Shoo, that's one to enter the chat with. Hope you're doing well. What's what you say in gecondoleerd? What's that in English? Everyone like for the Dutchies. Sorry for your loss. That's the translation. So sorry for your loss, Crypto Aman. Hope you're doing good. Take some time and yeah. Hopefully you'll do well. Missed the analysis? We're just starting. But you did miss a hide user from channel moment. Quite an intro, I know, right? Look, I could have hide him, like hid him from channel, right? I did click on the right button and then hide user from this channel. I could have done it while the timer was running down from like 3 minutes to 0. But purposely I said, Adam, look. Adam, I got you a surprise when I go live in 1 minute and 20 seconds. I just wanted it to happen. Speaking to Adam, face to face, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Ellen, no worries. Good to have you here. It's absolutely not you. I booked my flight to South Africa. There you are. Or go. Coming to the wedding, no? Kenny, how you doing? Welcome. Temistocles Castellano, welcome as well. Rogan Reacts. Mr. Friends, what's up? B Channel, Alicia. Latvia. There you go. The editor, Arbuzni Sok, is also from Latvia. Laba Klistap. Hyrex, welcome. Bettina, nice to hear you. Thanks. Good to have you here, Bettina. Hey, let's start. What we're going to do in today's live stream is luckily not a 6.5 hour live stream full of altcoins, but we're going to stick with Bitcoin specifically, go through the different Elliott Wave scenarios, and then go into chatting and Q&A, answering some of your questions and checking out some stuff. Not altcoins, we've done that yesterday in a 6.5 hour live stream as mentioned. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Probably going to be online for 1 hour because I do have other stuff to do as well. Now, I do realize that's something I say more often, and in the end, we're still here for 4 hours. But I got to keep an eye on my time. So let's see if Bitcoin actually gives us anything later on as a reason to stay, the yes or the no, because I do have other stuff. Missing the blue Netherlands sweater. It's I got it in my closet. It is ready, but yeah, more of a chill day today regarding the clothing. So Johnny English, welcome. How you doing, Mr. Bean? Anita, welcome as well. Christops Zorgis, no idea what you're saying. Please speak English. That is preferred in the chat over here. I don't mind if someone writes a message or two in their foreign language. If there's other people here, of course, that's absolutely no problemo. But Hyrex and Christops, if you want to talk in private, make sure to DM one another on another platform, but not in the live stream. Largo Caballero, welcome. Good to have you here as well. So let's start, shall we? Let's start. I'm going to go through the daily stuff as well, the weekly, because I do realize that yesterday I did not make a new macros, like cycle, macro, high time frame video, right? So usually every Sunday I do that, but because not too much has changed compared to last week, and because we were live for 6.5 hours, I decided, hey, you know what? Gonna take the evening off and chill a little bit. So nothing too like really changed on those time frames, but I at least want to cover it. And I also think it is quite interesting to talk about the cycle, the macro, and the high time frame. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to open another chart. There we go. Open another chart. 1 second here because I clicked a wrong button here. Go back to AGGR. Oh, sorry. That was an alarm. And I will go to the cycle count. There and there. So we will shortly cover this. And because it is a live stream, I can talk about it in a little bit more detail than in a video, because when I do the cycle, macro, and high time frame videos, they usually tend to be over 10 minutes. Even if I really try to be very short and direct in my speaking, it's simply not easy to finish it. So I will also show you the corrective structure. Macro bear, macro bull, and then we have bull. This is the bear, fib, probably. Okay, we got that sorted. And then we do this, move this to the upside. There we go. So we're first going to talk about the higher time frames and then more locally. We do have bearish CVD divergences here, by the way. We wigged the high, grabbed the liquidity of the range, price moving down, first green candle, bearish CVDs. This has now played out, and yeah, we're going to zoom into the local time frames. So no worries. Do you trade Elliott Waves? Yes, but mainly swinging, like swing trading. I have a separate day trading strategy, and I use Elliott Waves for more like longer positions. He is Elliott Wave. I'm lagging in the stream, hopefully not too much. If other people have problems, make sure to notify me, and I'll make sure to try and change some things for next time. So let's then start with the cycle stuff, right? We have, of course, the bullish and the bearish scenario, even on a cycle. Cycle equaling monthly time frame. So let's quickly cover monthly, weekly, daily time frame, and then we zoom into the lower time frame stuff. Not laggy. Okay, it should be good for most people, right? Usually, I didn't change any settings, so it should be good. Okay, the analysis is starting in minute 12. That's good to know. So let's start. Monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour. Arguably, maybe we can do the 12 hour and just do a full run through from the higher time frames to the lower time frames, right? Something I haven't done on a live stream yet, I believe. So let's start. Logarithmic chart, monthly time frame. This is the Bitstamp chart. Yes, I do realize not all of the info is on the Bitstamp chart, but because I have done so much analysis on the Bitstamp chart, I don't want to redo everything on an index chart. And I did have like the pools that you see, the fibs that you see, are all pulled from the same level as the low on the index chart, right? So it's not like from this low, it's from the low, like so. Anyway, what's up, Dave? Good to have you. So in the bearish scenario, we're looking at a finished 5-wave structure, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move. Wave 2 here retracing, not retracing, I should say, to the 0.382, retracing to the 236. One could say, wait, isn't that a rare target for a wave 2? That is correct. But on the very high time frames, things are a little bit different, right, compared to the lower time frames. Wave 4 retracing to the common target, 382. Wave 5 hitting the common target, 1.618, taken from the low, from the high to the low of this wave 4. And when we then look for the targets of a wave 2 in this bearish scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending wave 1, looking for a bigger 3-wave corrective structure. Preferably this wave 2 ends after the 0.382 fib time, taken from the low to the high, which is positioned on September 2025, so September next year. Price-wise, the 0.236 would be a maximum target, sitting at about 6K. Also, again, the fibs are taken from the low to the high. Usually, I would say, hey, the common target for wave 2 is the 05 to the 786, $400 to $20. Now, you can imagine that's very unrealistic. Just like we saw over here, we would expect the same over here. Potentially a 236 touch and then continuation to the upside. We don't actually want to see this low over here lost at about 3K. 0.236 at 6K, right? That's an important level, after which we then expect continuation. Now, from a macro perspective, the macro bearish scenario is this scenario over here, right? Where we are then looking for the end of one, right? This is the final impulsive move to the upside, and we look for a bigger corrective structure to the downside in a bigger wave 2. Here, we are looking for an ABC. Yeah, you can also have a WXY, it doesn't really matter. The common target area for C as well as Y is inside this area anyway. So for wave B here, the target area, golden pocket to the 886 is currently being tested. On a weekly time frame on the log chart, we are above the golden pocket and close the candle above the 786. On the linear chart, however, we just passed the golden pocket and we still have the 786 above us at 57.7K, right? So there's a small difference here between the two charts, log versus linear. I like to use additional confluences for resistance, but we'll check that in a second. So this is an important area for wave B, after which we then want to see a wave C to the downside. Golden pocket taken from the low to the high in confluence with the value area high of this multi-year volume profile, which is over here around 10K. Very, very good and very important support for Bitcoin. Generally, this support resistance area is probably the most important level on the chart. 28.7K, 33K. You can see how important it has been throughout the years, right? And you don't really want to see this lost if you're aiming for higher. If you're losing this and retest, right, like we did pretty much over here, yeah, you're going to move towards the downside. Now, inside that wave B to the upside, right, for then a bigger ABC, we're looking for a 3-wave structure, A, B, C. Wave C can be extended. However, the fact that we now closed a candle on the weekly time frame above the 1.618, taken from the low to the high of A to the low B, does decrease the probabilities a bit for an ABC to the upside, right? Most common target for a zigzag wave C is the 1 to the 1.236. Less common target, but a target nonetheless, is the 1.618 at 50.1K. We're now at 52K. So this is important. It's all probabilities. A wave C can extend, right? Wave Cs can be very long. We see it especially on lower time frames at times where a wave C can go to the 2, 2.618, even the 3.618. But we're on a weekly time frame now, and it's all probabilities, and this slightly lowers those probabilities, right? Now, after a wave C, we then expect a move towards the downside. Inside this wave C, right, we are then counting a 5-wave impulsive structure to the upside, which then is this one. This can both be bullish as well as bearish, by the way, but in a wave C, we are looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move. 4 ended between the 05 and the 382, right? At the 2 fib time as well, compared to wave 2, which is absolutely fine. And then we're looking for a wave 4. We have a wave 1, we have a wave 2, we have a wave 3, but we're still looking for a wave 4 to form similar to wave 2. So what we want to see is a bit of a range, bit of a retracement to the downside before continuation to then finish a wave 5 of this wave 5, right? So that you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure and then get a correction to the downside. This high over here in the bearish scenario is your purple wave C that I just showed, which on the macro is your yellow wave B for then 10K, right? So important. Will be very interesting if we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then a retracement. The retracement is pretty much gonna decide most of what's gonna happen in the upcoming 2 years, pretty much. So the bullish scenario then, is a couple of 1, 2s to the upside that I have here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I do know other people also watch Elliott Waves on different channels on YouTube, of course, and you may have seen this scenario somewhere else, as Green Star Trading, great Elliott Wave counter as well, is also looking for this. He is very bullish himself, right? And here we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're looking for another 1, another 2, right? So the bull market is the blue wave 1, and then another 2. Now you can see the curvature that we have currently. If I would draw like lines, you can pretty much see that it's like we're shaping to a more horizontal price action. And I think there was a comment of Raymond. I'm not sure if Raymond is here, but he said like, hey, for the upcoming like 5 to 10 years, I won't be surprised on the macro time frame if we're pretty much ranging between 100K and a 30K because of like 1, 2, and the ones are getting lower, and I'll show that in a second, and the 2s are getting a bit deeper, so you get that curvature, right? You get like this curvature, so that you get like a range before then eventually continuation, which is something you tend to see in like S&P 500 stuff as well. As you get the pushes to the upside, eventually you get a range or a bigger drop, and then eventually continuation. So that's something that's very interesting. Now, when we look at the target for the blue wave 1, time-wise, we have to compare the previous wave 1s with one another. No? So what you're looking at is the yellow wave 1 shorter in time than the red wave 1. A fib time taken from the low, right? Yes, I know this is not the low on Bitstamp, but that is why I pulled these fib times and the fibs and everything from the official low on the index chart. To the high, to the low, gives you the information that this yellow wave 1 is shorter because it ended before the 0.786. The green wave 1 is as long as the yellow wave 1. It's a perfect 1-to-1 copy, giving us the all-time high over here, right? Which was in November 2021. Now, keeping this in mind, yellow shorter than 1, green the same length in time as 1, we can get an estimation with regards to time for this wave 1. The 1-to-1 here is sitting on, at October 2025. The 786, relevant, is sitting at March 2025. And the 0.618, I just put it in here, a little bit of flexibility, is sitting in September 2024. Price-wise, we are then looking for a target between 100K and 180K. Also here, we have to compare the previous impulses with one another. And what you see here is that the yellow wave 1 is shorter in price than the red wave 1 on the logarithmic scale, where you correct for the price difference, right? Of course, here you're moving from 190 to 19K, which is of course a lot more than from 0 to like 1K, but you're correcting for price on the log chart, and the log chart is recommended when you go on a monthly time frame and do Elliott Wave analysis, right? So the 0.618 pulled from the low to the high to the low shows the yellow wave 1 is shorter than the red wave 1, but at the same time the green wave 1 is shorter than the yellow wave 1. Interesting. While the red wave 2 hit the 0.236, yellow wave 2 hit the 382, green wave 2 almost hit the 0.5. So you can see that the highs are becoming shorter, even though price-wise, like if you look at the literal price, it might be longer, right? Because here you move from 3K to like 69K, and this is from $200 to 19K. So price-wise, the jump might be bigger, but on a logarithmic scale, percentage-wise, it's not bigger. It's actually smaller. And that is what also explains the curvature that we're seeing between the wave 2s and the wave 1s. The 2s get deeper, the 1s get shorter. That is then also what explains the target for the blue wave 1. The 0.618, of course, on the chart because of previous price action at 104K. But for a little bit of flexibility, the 0.786 on the chart at 176K. So that is then a target in combination with time, right? We would like to see this target area hit between September 2024, October 2025, 100K to 180K. Now that means that preferably your wave 2 is finished, and we are now looking for an impulse to the upside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is therefore the more preferred scenario when you look at time potential, right? 1, 2, 3, sideways 4, and eventually a 5 to the upside. So let's go to the weekly time frame here. Bullish scenario, logarithmic chart. Quick look what Bitcoin is doing. And here we have the final bull market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is finished. In this scenario, in the bullish scenario, your 2 is finished as well. You look for a move towards the upside. By the way, we get to the probabilities at the end, right? That's when we talk about probabilities. Now we explain the scenarios, the pros, the cons. Then we get to the probabilities now. So in this scenario, we're looking for a 1, 2, and we want to see a 3, a 4, and eventually continuation to the upside, right? In the green count. But that can take a while because inside wave 3, we are then looking for the blue wave 1 and 2, right? That's what we're looking for. No? Now, inside this wave 2, we have to count a corrective structure. And a couple of months ago, someone in Diamond asked me, hey Koen, can you like count this structure to the downside for the bullish scenario in a WXY, because I don't know how I can count this as a WXYXZ, sorry, so as a WXYXZ. Now, usually what you tend to see on my charts is they are very clean. I don't keep a lot of stuff on my chart. What has been like stuff that's very far in the past, I remove it because it's not relevant anymore if you have the higher degree counts. However, put some time during a gold feedback and Q&A live stream in counting this structure as a WXYXZ on the logarithmic chart to the downside. I won't go through it in a lot of detail because, well, you can see it. You can, of course, screenshot it and you can play around with it yourself and the measurements and everything. But you can see this is what I have in detail, WXYXZ, and then a triple zigzag structure. Now, WXYXZ in general is a very rare corrective structure, more so on the higher time frame. So this is something we do have to keep in mind when we talk about the probabilities, right? Now in the macro bullish scenario, and that's in the wave 2, of course. Ooh, my alarm went off here. I actually shocked myself. I have no idea why. Apparently I had an alarm here. So if this is the low of year 2, we're looking for the blue wave 1 to the upside. There is 2 counts that are relevant in this case. First of all, we have a simple 5-wave structure to the upside, right? Now let me actually remove this, as this is at the moment not relevant. And it seems that I moved some stuff around, but that's no problem. We can move this back at a later stage. Remove this. This is better. And also clean up a little bit. There we go, there we go, there we go. I'm gonna redo some of this live on stream, right? Now, as on the cycle time frame, we have to keep an eye on time, right? Time with regards to the high of the blue wave 1. That is what we're looking for. Preferably, this blue wave 1 does not end before the 0.618, as previous wave 1s ended around the 786, but still after the 618 or at the 1-to-1. This fib time is taken from the low to the high to the low here, comparing green one with blue one. So preferably we end after the 0.618 fib time, right? September 2024, but before or around max the 1-to-1 October 2025. With this in mind, we got to think of Elliott Wave scenarios that might reach this area around this time. And a relatively simple impulsive structure to the upside would therefore fit nicely in this wave one. We are currently, of course, in February 2024, so we still have a couple of months left. This is the monthly chart, right? But if this is your 1 and this is your 2, we would still be looking for a 3 to the upside, right? Finish 3, we're looking for a 4. Generally, a wave 4 is longer than a wave 2 in time. Now, this wave 2, as I'll show you in a second, was shallow, complex, right? And quite long in time as well. So a wave 4 might therefore, rule of alternation, be shorter, deep, and simple. But nonetheless, you're then looking for a 4 and then a 5 to enter this area and finish an impulse to the upside, which leads to the potential of the count that I have on my chart now, right? So here we then have our 1 and 2, 382 bounce, less common for a wave 2, has to be said. Then we're looking for a wave 3, 4, and a wave 5. Now, of course, if we are looking for a target at like 100K or plus, right, this wave 3 has to go higher. You can't finish your wave 3 here and then get a 4 and a 5 in the most common impulsive scenario, where your wave 3 is the longest, strongest, most impulsive structure in an impulse. That's by far most common. The only way you can end a wave 3 here and still reach 100K is if your wave 5 is extended, meaning your wave 5 is going to be the volume, or the move that has the highest volume is going to be the most extended, and wave 1 and 3 have to be quite similar in length. 4 and then again an extended 5. However, an extended 5 impulsive structure is less common, right? And therefore, especially where we are now, does not have the highest probabilities. So preferably your 3 continues for a while, and we like to see volume increasing. Now, this is something that you hear many people talk about. Where's the volume? Interesting. Now, inside this wave 3, right, this is the weekly chart. Of course, there's the potential for a double 1-2. We're going to talk about that in a second, right? So here we're looking for 1-2, and we want to see continuation to the upside to eventually finish a 3. Preferably 3 is extended and has the highest volume, then a 4, and then a wave 5. Inside the blue 3, we could be looking, actually this, I should turn this into maybe blue. Got some things to innovate, I see. Inside the blue 3, this is something to keep in mind. If wave 3 does not reach at least all-time highs, and we're going to get a bigger rejection to the downside before we get to all-time highs, a double 1-2 is pretty much the scenario you're looking for, right? 1-2, 1-2, and then you get the 3 to the upside. That is when you get the volume. You want to see the all-time high easily being broken and you know, straight line up, right? So here in this scenario, what we are looking for is this wave 1 to end, and if it already ended, because there is still the possibility for a flat structure here, we want to see a wave C to the downside. At the moment, however, this structure so far, probabilities are higher. We are still going to grab this high, that one, because this is very much a 3-wave structure, right? We're looking for an impulse at the moment. That's the highest probability scenario here on the 4-hour chart, which we'll cover in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. Therefore, I prefer to put wave 1 higher, and then we do, well, at the moment we're here, so then we do this and this, and this is stuff I'll edit later. Voila. You're comparing your wave 2 in time with your wave 1. Fib time taken from the low to the current candle that we have. Target area for your wave 2 is most commonly between the 05786, 38.9K to 46.9k. The 886 is a rare target for a wave 2. The 382 is a less common target for a wave 2 at 42.2k here. Time-wise, preferably a wave 2 ends after the 0.382, sitting at the 22nd of April if we're looking here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The structure in this wave 1 is then this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are looking to end wave 5. Okay. Very nice. Let's now go to the lower time frames where we're going to zoom into this structure, right? And then we get to the probabilities. Cool. Oh yeah, by the way, let's cover this shortly. Also said it in the other updates, of course, but important resistance above price, the current weekly gap and the weekly gap above. Over here, target of the high, like the high of the weekly gap, 53.3k, which is the same as the monthly gap high as well. The whole thing here, that's the monthly gap. This smaller one is the weekly gap, but the top is the same. Important resistance, high probabilities you're going to fill the gap, especially as on a weekly time frame. We close the weekly candle inside the gap, increasing probabilities to fill the gap sooner or later. Above price, we do have a blue box here, resistance 56.8k, 57.3k, and then we have the next gap over here. And as you can see inside this gap, there are some additional resistance. The blue box, 60.1k, 61.6k. Those are important levels. Very nice. For our chart, then, currently the highest probability scenario is an impulse to the upside. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing 3, looking for a bigger wave 4 here. Common target for this wave 4 is the 0.236 to the 0.5, taken from the low of 2 to the high of wave 3. 50.3k, 47.3k. 0.618 is an invalidation, sitting at 46k. The moment price moves to the downside and hits this level, probabilities increase immediately that this is an ABC, and you're going to be looking for price to take this low. At least the probabilities are higher for price to take this low. Significantly go up if that happens. Now for this wave 4, as you can see, we didn't actually hit the most common target area for a wave 4 yet. It has to be said, but this is very rare, so that's why it's not even part of my template. The 146 is a rare target for a wave 4. At least something to remember. Has been hit, but it is a rare target for a wave 4. Time-wise, this wave 4 is still doing good when we compare it to wave 2. The fib times that you see on the chart, the nice colorful lines here, taken from the high of 1 to the low of 2, put on top of the high over here, comparing 2 with 4. Elliott Waves is not only price related, it is also time related. You want to have the right look, should fit the context, should fit fib times as well, it should fit the Elliott Wave degrees. There's many things I can talk about with regards to time, and it's also in the Elliott Wave book. Now for a wave 4 over here, preferably a wave 4 is longer than wave 2, so longer than the 1-to-1 over here, which is the case. And just because like this wave 4 should of course be in relationship with the same degree wave 2 here, we don't really like to see a wave 4 go towards the 5 or the 6 fib time. That's very long, and it starts to really lower the probabilities for a wave 4. Now the 5 is currently sitting on the 23rd of Feb this week, pretty much. That's on my wedding day on paper. So that's Friday. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, in this case, we would preferably still be looking for a move to the downside to hit the common target area for a wave 4. Now, wave 4 can have any corrective structure. It can be a triangle, can be a flat, can be a WXY, WXY, XZ, can be anything, right? But we're going to zoom into the structure that we have here right now. So inside this wave 4, if we are looking for price to still hit that target area, there's two scenarios I currently keep an eye on. WXY, and an ABC, flat or a sideways double combo. Let's start with the WXY. Zigzag to the downside. Over here, the common target area for a wave C in an ABC, very nicely respected, by the way. Then you're looking for X and a Y. Now, because price here retraced to the 786, the probabilities for a double zigzag are very low. In other words, ABC, correction, and another ABC to the downside now have a lower probability. So another zigzag down for a wave Y, low probability. Why? We hit the 786. Reason is that in a WXY for a double zigzag, wave X preferably doesn't hit the 0.7 Fibonacci, which is somewhere here, right? We hit it, lowers the probabilities. Therefore, the only two structures I'm really looking for in a WXY is this wave Y to be a flat structure, most commonly an expanding flat, or a triangle. But it's way too early to call a triangle here. No? And then we have the flat. Wave A, zigzag in A, that's common. Wave B, most commonly, is a zigzag as well. And then we're looking for a rejection to the downside for wave C. We want to see an impulsive structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, preferably taking the low of wave A, and also reach the target area of this wave 4. That's the goal, right, with the scenario shown here. Target area for B is between the 1.38 and the 1.236, taken from the high to the low of A, giving you a target area between 53.4K to 53.8K. Now that so happens to be very close to the high of the monthly gap at 53.3K, which, as you now know, of course, is also the high of the weekly gap. So that's quite interesting. But price needs to make it there, right? And currently it's grinding against the 786 for a while already, and we have some local bearish CVDs, I noticed. So cool. We'll get to the probabilities in a second. Do not worry. Bearish scenario is an ABC to the upside. 3-wave structure, right? A, B, and then a wave C. The 1.618, little less common for a wave C. We already passed it. We're moving towards the 2. The fact that we are ranging above the 1.618 lowers the probabilities for an ABC to the upside. Nonetheless important, something to keep in mind, is the ABC, and the invalidation for an impulse is the 618, so that's why it's on the chart. Now this ABC scenario would be part of a flat on a higher degree. So then on the 12-hour, you're looking for a 3-wave A, 3-wave B, ABC, right? And then a 5-wave C. Common target for B is where we are now. So it's an interesting area. But if we're looking for a wave C, then we want to see impulsive structures to the downside from the current high that we have. And currently, there's a low probability that this is an impulsive structure. Let's zoom in. We're going to zoom in. Pop, pop. This is always what I look for, right? The moment a new high is made, do we get an impulsive structure? And I always talk about these 3 scenarios: impulse, diagonal, or a double 1-2. Well, for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't want overlap between 4 and 1. Lots of overlap over here. Okay, it doesn't really work. Double 1-2 then. 1, 2, 1, 2. Wait. If this is a 1, 2, and this is another 1, 2, then we now hit the 886, taken from this high to the low. 886 here has been touched, shown in the morning update, the previous update, lowering the probabilities that this is a wave 2, and you get a wave 3 to the downside in a double 1-2. So therefore, the one that pretty much remains is a diagonal, where you have a zigzag in 1, you want a zigzag in 2, and a zigzag 3, zigzag 4, zigzag 5, right? But it is way too early to call a diagonal, because I prefer to only really start looking for diagonals when a wave 4 is in. Before a wave 4 is in, there's many other options for price, like other scenarios that have a higher probability compared to a diagonal. So as in this case, we, I don't know, maybe finished a wave 2 then in this scenario, because the invalidation is the high, obviously. You need price to come down and then up and then down again. Way too early, currently does not have the highest probability. The bullish scenario or the bullish CVD divergences we had here played out, so these can be removed from the chart. We had a bit of bullish CVD between the order block and the higher low here. Higher low in price, lower low on the CVD. Target would be this high. But very locally, here, I saw something very interesting, which is, let me show you, this. We wicked the high of the little range and immediately after started to create bearish CVD divergences. So zooming in, we were in this range, boring, boring, boring. We grabbed the high, we moved down and price immediately, next push up, big bearish CVD divergences. Which I think is interesting because what we are looking for is a retracement to the downside eventually inside the target area of a wave 4 in either WXY or an ABC. So let's then go to the probabilities, right? Probabilities locally, bit of text, but this is how I wrote it to Silver earlier today, is as follows. Generally, on the 4-hour chart, generally we are looking for these highs to be taken sooner or later in the bullish scenario, 4, 5, right? If the highs are taken soon, meaning if price would move up now instead of going down now, if it moves up, right? Be aware of a wave B or continuation, looking for a flat in an A, B, C, preferred because we still want to touch this area. But there is the potential for continuation as this low is made after the 1 fib time. And it's a zigzag structure. So that's something we have to keep in mind. So that means that if price moves up to the wave B target area here, we have to observe the reaction. If price first moves to the downside, right? Or continues the range in a flat or a triangle. Triangle will be easy to identify because it's just a continuation of the range. Expect continuation when price takes the high. So in other words, probabilities are higher generally to take this high sooner or later. If price moves up soon, look for a wave B flat or potential continuation, depends on the reaction here. Preferably, we get a move down to hit the common target area for 4 if that's the case. If price first moves down, then the next time we go up, expect higher probabilities to continue up for a wave 5. This is the difference between the two scenarios, right? It looks like wave 4 price action over here, 4. We didn't yet hit the wave 4 target area. Therefore, based on Elliott Wave probabilities, there is a higher probability for price to still move down in a wave 4 before an impulse to the upside. It is rare for a wave 4 to not hit at least the 0.236 Fibonacci, right? And as mentioned, the 0.146 is also a wave 4 target, but it is very rare and therefore never preferred. It's not very clear yet if we're looking for a WXY or an ABC. However, we have been grinding for a while here already against the 88 or the 786, right? Didn't really find continuation at the moment, but there's no clear signs yet that a WXY has higher probabilities compared to the flat. To the downside, we have support. This one here, 51.6K, 51.8K. That is the first real area of support I have. If you lose this support, then probabilities increase to take the low. If you're going to go into this 2-hour gap once again, which provided support the first time it hit, probabilities are high you filling this gap to at least the low of the gap at like 49.8K, right? On the weekly time frame, while I explained the scenarios, on the daily time frame, probabilities at the moment are higher for the bullish scenarios. Reason is that wave C now starts to move above the 1.618, which is less common but it does not invalidate a wave C, right? So sometimes I get a question, is the bearish scenario still possible? Yes. Yes, it is very much still possible, right? Probabilities decreased as we are moving above the 1.618, but it is definitely still possible as we are here looking for a potential 5 waver. If that finishes, the next move down, that's going to decide what's happening in the upcoming 2 years pretty much. On a cycle time frame, seeing so many double, triple, 1, 2s, right? It's not really something that happens very often. But the cycle time frame is very much dependent on what happens locally, of course. So I prefer to look locally. So yeah, hopefully this provides some insight. So I think the easiest the easiest I can make it is, where's my box? Easiest I can make it locally is simply probabilities are higher. We're going to take this high sooner or later. As the probabilities are higher, this is a 4 or a 5 wave impulsive structure. Currently working on the wave 4, right? So we still expect a 5 up. Also because this move to the downside is very much higher probability, a 3 wave structure, increasing probabilities to take the high as well sooner or later. So probabilities at the moment are higher to take this high sooner or later. However, as we are looking for wave 4, preferably we first hit this area before we continue to the upside. And if you do take this high like this, then a flat would be nice. So yes, therefore short term probability is higher to look for a move down. Short term, quote unquote, long term for our chart, probability is higher to move up. And then if price moves to the upside, right, as price then moves up, we observe what happens there. No? So that is as simple as I suppose I can make it. Support to the downside, by the way, inside the wave 4 target area. Can imagine there's a few questions here. First of all, is this order block here, which is between 49.3K and 49.8K. And then we also have a daily at 49.725, a daily naked point of control at 49175, and then at the 05, which preferably you're not going to hit actually, 47325. Price, a higher degree wave 4, likes to retrace to a lower degree wave 4 in price, which we currently didn't. We didn't yet hit this wave 4. Wave green, or the wave 4 in green, is the higher degree wave 4. The lower degree wave 4 is the blue one. So therefore, preferably, this wave 4 enters at least the price action of the blue wave 4, which is the 236 to the 382 area. And this is also where your main support is. So actually your support, if I put a target box here, right, then we do this, and then we have here a daily naked point of control. That's your, like, that's a main area of interest here. Pop, 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 clean it up. Ta-da! So hopefully that helps. So the bearish CVD divergences we had here now played out as price moved to the downside, right? So the low time frame, lower high on price, higher high on the CVD. This low was taken, played out. Then over here, more bearish CVD divergences has also played out now. But it was interesting to see that after the highs got wicked here. So yeah, that's that. I can remove this chart now. Let me save this. So we spoke about cycle, macro, high time frame, 4 hour, 15 minute, pretty much 1 hour. And now let's see if price is going to give us anything. We do have news this week, by the way. Wednesday, 8 p.m. We have some news coming in this week. It's the only bit of news this week as well. So let's see if there's any volatility on Wednesday, but it's Monday now. So voila. Okay, it is now 53 minutes into the live stream. I know we started at 12, so Elliott Wave analysis start at 12:30. Now chatting and Q&A. Ethereum. Ooh, we should have a. I should link this. Yesterday I did a 6.5 hour altcoin stream where I analyzed, I think 19 was it altcoins. I already binned it. I did 19 altcoins. It's a live stream from yesterday. The altcoins that we covered yesterday were Matic, SEI, Kaspa, DOT, Sol, ETH, ADA, AVAX, FET, XRP, Beam, Phil, Wave, Ponke, HBAR, CHZ, Luna, and Uni. And you can check that out here. That is the link to the... Don't leave this live stream, of course. You can watch it after this live stream. But yeah, 6.5 hours, longest stream ever on this channel, dedicated to altcoins yesterday. So, and Ethereum is one of those. The timestamps are in the video, so make sure to check it out. Thanks, Mark, as well. So, what's up, Rodney? How are you doing? Temistoclas Castellano. Thank you for your time. That was great. I will be here. Keep learning. Keep learning. That's what I like to hear. Thanks, Temistoclas Castellano. Appreciate you being here. So market's not open today. I don't know. Bitcoin is always open, of course, but I actually don't know if the traditional markets are open or closed, or I don't know actually. I can check. Let me have a look here. Checking. US is closed. Okay, I see. So yeah, London, Zurich, Frankfurt, Moscow, Johannesburg, these are open at the moment, and we got Sao Paulo opening as well, but as you can see today, New York is going to be closed, as well as Toronto and Chicago. So exactly, the US is going to be closed. That's going to be quite interesting. Continuation of the range, question mark. So move this back here. Uh-oh. Ooh, for a second I thought I moved my I moved from the tab from the one browser to the other browser on my other screen. For a second I thought it was crashing, but we are still here. Whoa. Close one. US closed. Yeah, I see. Okay, let me have a quick look here. What's been happening? Just quickly checking. Quickly checking. This is where we were. Oh no, the lag thing. Yeah. Are you pumped about your wedding? Can you believe someone actually wants to spend their life with you? Possibly wants to create new life with you. Doesn't it feel amazing? And she makes sandwiches too. Yeah, she does. Especially the sandwiches is nice, right? No, it is. Of course, it is. It is very special. I mean, we're together for 6 years, and yeah, when I was still or just finished studying, actually, I was still living in my 30 square meter studio in Amsterdam, and that is where it started. We lived there for 2.5 years before eventually moving, because as a student you don't need more, and it's Amsterdam, so But yeah, we went through all of that, and yeah, absolutely exciting. No, exciting. Pilot is back. What's up? No. Calling me what was it? A voice like a pilot, like going through the video like a pilot. Alex O Crypto, how you doing? How you doing? Good to have you here. Hope you do. I hope you're good, man. Also, I wonder how the crypto wars show is going, because I believe you have to battle against what's that crypto face. So hope you're gonna take it, mate. Adam, how you doing? Exploded. Oh, crypto in a nutshell. I don't even know this one. What's up, Power Meat? I don't think there are a lot of volume compared to the past because so many holders are hanging on and not moving. There isn't as much supply. There's a lot of demand. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. There are 900 being printed per day with 12x the demand. Yeah, I'm not into the fundamentals, so it's difficult to say. But yeah, the volume is low, so that's quite interesting. But still, if you're in a wave 3, you still want to see volume move up in wave 3. So or from an Elliott Wave perspective, we don't necessarily mind the volume being low. The problem is we don't want it to be low in a wave 3. So that's most important. And yeah, at the moment we don't yet see strong acceleration, so the potential for a double 1-2 would be there in the bullish scenario. Yeah. Any other girls in chat? Asks Hannah Rose. Make a plan, guys. 6 steps and follow it. Exactly. Good job, Andrew. Sounds like you got yourself a plan. Eh? That's what we like to hear. Steffi, there you go. Hannah and Steffi meet Hannah. Steffi meet Hannah. Hannah meet Steffi. Deacon, I know you discuss alts a lot, but would really like to see your thoughts on. Well, actually, I don't really discuss alts. Oh yes, only yesterday. So today I'm not gonna cover any alts. That's maybe for another another long live stream. Korean. So I can't read this though. Welcome. Got my Elliott Wave principle book. Can't wait to dig in it. Good luck. Good luck. It's good knowledge. It's good to have. It's good to have. Your 5th on cycle is expanding wave B of 4. Why you are considering that wave 5 on the cycle degree, your 5th on cycle degree is expanded? Oh no, that would have very low probabilities. An expanding flat on the cycle degree for the wave 5. Yeah, that's not something I'm looking at. Yeah. Where's it? Absolutely not. Very low probabilities. I'll explain why. So then wait, what was it? Oh, why is my 5 in already? Yeah, so you're talking about this is your 3 and then your 4 moves here and you're looking for an expanding. Very, 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 very low probabilities. Of course, first of all, the 1.618 is a less common target for wave B in an expanding flat. Second, if this is a flat, it's a running flat, not an expanding, it's a running flat, which already is very rare, more so on the higher time frame. So the 1.618 less common for a wave B, plus a running flat on this time frame. Yeah, that's incredibly rare. Very low probabilities for that being the correct count. Makes more sense to connect these two corrective structures with one another, as in the same degree. And then when we get a bigger corrective move, this is correcting a bigger move to the upside. Yeah, this being a flat is not something I'm looking for. Of course, you have I saw a count where they count this as a 1, 2, and then what was it? I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's also not something I'm looking for at the moment. 3 would be very short compared to 1, unless you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, and somehow, yeah, doesn't really work for me at the moment. But then again, it's a cycle time frame, so of course, if anything changes, then I will make sure to cover it immediately. But at the moment, an expanding structure is not something I'm looking for yet. Let me quickly scroll through. Wave 4 in this structure can coincide with higher time frame, as potentially we are in a wave 3 and higher time frame, which we don't know when will end. Yes, you never know when a wave 3 ends. You only know when a wave 3 ends when you get a wave 4 of the same degree as a wave 2. So if you start a bigger range structure, because a wave 3 can extend very far. Now, of course, you can count all the sub-degree waves of wave 3, which gives you a higher probability, a better estimation of where wave 3 ends. So you can get a better estimation, but generally, because a wave 3 can be very extended, it's usually better to just let it go. And then once you get a bigger range, that is when you get the information of, okay, we might actually be finished. So on a daily, you can count a wave 3, and then on the 4 hour, you can count the sub-waves of wave 3. So you can count an internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, giving you a better idea. And then inside wave 5 of the 4 hour chart, you can go to the 15-minute and then count a 5-wave impulsive structure on the 15-minute of the 4 hour wave 5 of the daily wave 3. Follow me? So you can get a bit of a better estimation when a wave 3 ends, but the general thing is just wait for a range. It makes, also for people that are here that don't know Elliott waves very well, the best thing to do is you wait for a bigger range to form. How do you consider this move up from 30? What's your expected? Well, we pretty much covered that. Currently, highest probability is that it is a wave 5. Coming from 24K to where we are now in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, and then correcting. There's a high probability for WXY to the 1.618. Most common target for a wave Y is between the 1 and the 1.236 of W, and the 1.618 is a less common target for a wave Y. To short big, macro retracement. Yeah, it's an interesting area. But now that's the trick of it. It's an interesting area, but now we look for weakness. We want to see local weakness. And at the moment, probabilities are still higher to take this high one more time at least. How many trades a day would you say you take on average? On only Bitcoin, 10 to 20 a month based on statistics. So not even one a day. With Ethereum and Solana, which I kind of start trading a bit now, it can be one a day. I always traded, or when I started, very like in the beginning, I did trade different things, but eventually what I noticed is less is more. I prefer to focus, so I scrapped all the 10 whatever I was trading, sold everything, and focused on Bitcoin only. And on Bitcoin, it's 10 to 20 setups a month on average. So, and it's that's the day trading strategy. And with regards to Elliott waves is usually more swingy, so that's less trades. So yeah. Look at the bias. Love to see it. This is also why I would love a correction, by the way. Everyone in profit, get a big correction, stop them out, and then continue. We were here. Everyone is predicting. Hey, what's up, Akshar? How you doing? Everyone is predicting an economic crisis after 2026. Does it have the same with Elliott waves? Economic crisis after 2026. Well, the target area for... So from an Elliott wave point of view, it would be better for this scenario that you have here, site Hansrai, right? 2026, and then a bear market would fit better with the bull market this year ended at around October or Q3, Q4 2025, which explained in the analysis is a target between the 786 and the 1-to-1 fib time. And then start a bear market in the blue wave 2. And because each wave 2, as explained, is a little bit deeper, right? We had the 236, 382, 05. The next wave 2 might go to the golden pocket, right? Which is then a deep retracement to the downside. Let's actually see where that golden pocket is. But then you could get your bear market in your bear market in 2026. So so here the target area, right, 786 1-to-1 here, 1st of March 2025, October 2025. So preferably end like Q3 Q4 2025, make the high, then go down in your scenario. And then we take a fib from the low here to wherever the high is going to be, right? We toggle on, let's toggle on the 05 as well. So what you can see here, 0.236, 382, 05, potentially golden pocket 05 area, no? Price reaching 100K, the 0.618 here. Then the price of the 05 is at 40.4K. Golden pocket 32.2K to 29.7K. Target 0.786, 180K. The 05 is at 52.2K. Golden pocket 39.2K to 35.3K. And then this, in your scenario, would be your bear market in 2026. And then you move up again. 69 likes. Nice. What did I have here? Hello, Free Dodger. In my count, the blue wave 5 is 3 instead, and we are now in wave 5 of the blue wave. Why do you invalidate? Are you talking about the 4-hour time frame, Free Dodger? Because if you are talking about the 4-hour here, then your count, right, still has potential. The reason, however, I finished blue 5 here, right, is this retracement hit the 0.236 and also quite time-wise now of this wave 2, taken from the low to the high. And also after this 2, we can count potentially another 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So inside this wave 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. That would end your impulse. And that's why I have the 3 and the 4 ending here. And then a bigger 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the idea behind it. Yeah. So it's not an invalidation, right? It's not incorrect. In both of these scenarios, right, even if you would put your blue 3 here and your blue 4 here, you would still expect at least one more high. And that's the thing. Based on the probabilities locally, you would expect at least one more high to be taken, like one more high, right? At least this high to be taken once more, right? And then as price moves up, that is when you can decide, hey, is this the blue 5 or the green 5? If we get another range, what do you get, right? But for me at the moment, probabilities are higher for the green 5, as explained, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, finishing 3, 4, 5. Open short position on Ondo. Good luck, have fun. No, Asanov. I don't know Ondo myself though. But good luck, Asanov. What do you do besides crypto? I mean, of course, I trade, and then I have YouTube as well, which I suppose is all crypto related. But thanks to the way I trade and the strategy I've developed over the years, I have the time to do other stuff, right? I don't want the lifestyle of trading, but then sitting behind my PC all day to trade, right? So my strategy allows for this. So I'm also a global keynote speaker. If you would look for my name online, you'll find the agency and videos and stuff. So I'm a global keynote speaker. My background is the gaming and esports industry for the past 18 years now. And I've done many things in that industry, but nowadays globally a keynote speaker at big events. And I'm a board member of the Global Esports Federation and a vice chair of the Athletes Commission of that federation. 1112 and Super Cycle, because my Lambo order got triggered. That's why we like to hear the Fox. That's what we like to hear. Order the bull. Huh? Wait, what was this? Thanks, Mark. What are the most common trading psychology mistakes that people usually make? I can answer this very quickly. There we go. Greed, fear, tilt, confidence, discipline. Actually, I should, yeah. Greed, fear, anger, confidence, and discipline. In other words, being greedy, not taking profit, extending the target, staying in for too long, right? Fear, which I guess is self-explanatory, right? Some fear of their profits. Oh, I'm going to lose my paper profits, which are not yet realized, so I exit early. Or price is moving towards my stop loss, so I exit early, but then eventually it actually plays out, right? Those type of fear of missing out, fear of losing, fear of mistakes, fear of failure, right? Tilt is always an interesting one. So hating to lose, tilting because you made mistakes, injustice tilt, revenge trading, right? Entitlement tilt, confidence, low confidence in your trading, or too high confidence in your trading. Now, confidence translates into fear or greed as well, which is important, but confidence can also be perfectionism, desperation, and hope and wishing. Discipline, impatience, trading because you're bored, being overly results-oriented, distractibility, laziness, procrastination. There you go. Ta-da. Howdy, sunny Las Vegas, where you can spin wheels for big bucks. That is true. And luckily, across the world, we can click buttons for big bucks as well. Trading. From your opinion, are we taking the high? Which, in my opinion, will we take either directly or after a trade? Do you also think we will retrace to 46K? 46 would be too low for a wave 4, so preferably you first take the high, and if you do, we got to see if you continue or reject for a wave B flat and then up later or not, right? And eventually after wave 5 you would expect a retracement to at least 46. Yeah, if we're here looking, right, 1 2 3 4 and a wave 5. After 5 you would expect a bigger retracement to the downside. That is correct. You give setups in diamond. Me like. Yeah, true. I do. What's up, Lucian? How you doing? Never bear market again. Full throttle. Only ways up. We do need to hit the green box to propel up. Yeah, that's higher probability. Correct. Y4 is less than 2. I'm not sure. So rule of alternation, if wave 2 is long compared to wave 1, wave 4 tends to be short in time compared to 2. So that is how that blue wave 4 is shorter than the blue wave 2. So that answers the question. Did you go over render in yesterday's altcoin stream? I didn't, no. I did go over, first of all, the top 10 highest voted altcoins, and then we did like random altcoins with the Wheel of Fortune. Abdul Karim Abu Najib. Well, I think in your last video you said that you still expect a wave C to the downside, but why did you say that, or in another word, why did you say that the ABC wave to the downside only wave? Because a zigzag is invalid. So if you look at this structure here, so the probabilities are a lot higher. This move down is a 3-wave structure. It's not necessarily invalid, but a 3-wave move in an ABC zigzag, right? And if wave A is a 3-wave structure, the only way you can get a wave C 5-wave move is if you get a flat. And for a flat, price has to retrace at least to the 0.9 Fibonacci, but the most common flat is an expanding flat. So that's why I would then be looking for a 5-wave structure to the downside after the area of B is hit, leading to an expanding flat. So a wave C, you can have an ABC zigzag, 5, 3, 5, and also a flat ABC, right? 3, 3, 5. Wave C is always a 5-wave structure in both cases. Do you only have a trading account, or do you hold long-term? Well, I have long-term bags, but not in like crypto, like long term. Yeah, I have a few things, but it's nothing like serious or something. It's I have it for the fun and giggles, couple of shit coins, but you know, it's not like long-term stuff is also in other markets besides trading itself here and crypto. I use fib extension to measure the wave run. Wave C range, wave 3 range, wave 5 range. Are these things valid? Are these ranges valid? Wave C, yes. Wave 3, well, wave 3 can extend a lot further. So wave 3, usually the minimum target of 3 is the 1.618. But then you have the 2, 2.618, 3, 3.618, 4, 4.618. And the wave 3 can extend to much higher prices. So the 1.618 is usually a minimum target for a wave 3, but can extend further. And then a wave 5 depends on the pool, because I don't know what pool you did here. 0.618, 1.272. I don't know if this is a normal Fibonacci or a trend-based fib pool. So the common target for wave 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take a fib from the high to the low of 4, and then it's between the 1.618 and the 1.236. Then you can also take a trend-based fib from the low to the high of 3 to then the low of 4, toggle on the 0.618. That's also a target, which is up here. And then you have the 1-to-1. So the 1-to-1 trend-based fib extension from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to the low of 4, 1-to-1. And that's your general target area. I did Ethereum yesterday, but I only look at Bitcoin today. Yesterday we did a 6.5 hour altcoin stream, and we good for now. How to use fib time? You use fib time. So first of all, you need to be able to identify the waves that you're looking at, right? And then what waves do you want to compare? Usually the waves you compare are wave 1 and 5, wave 2 and 4, wave Y, wave W and Y, wave A and C in a zigzag, that is, right? And then, for example, the fib time that let me use the example that I have myself here. So here I compare green 2 with green 4, right? So what I then do is I pull a fib time, so this one here, I can redo it, from the start of 1 on the 4-hour chart to the low of 2, right? Just make sure you select the right candle, which is the red one here. And what I did now is with the first 2 clicks, you select the part you want to compare a future part with, right? So the first 2 clicks, you select the area that you want to compare against. And with your 3rd click, which is then on the high of 3, right? Now you compare this with this. So click 1 and click 2 give you the area that you want to compare future price action with. In this case, what's here, right? So, and I put it on the high of 3 because I want to compare from this high, the end of 3, wave 4 with 2. So yeah, if you want to compare wave 1 and 5, you take a fib time from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to the low of a wave 4. And then you can compare 1 and 5. With an ABC, right? ABC zigzag, take a fib time from the start of A to the low of A to the end of B, and then you compare wave A and wave C with one another. Wave B can be quite lengthy. Same with wave X. So usually it doesn't make too much sense to use this these 4 fib times, but yeah. I need to work on all of these trading psychology mistakes. Don't we all? Exactly. Is wave 4 longer than 9 inches? I don't know. I would need my measurement tape. And it also depends how far I zoom in, of course, because now wave 4 is a lot bigger compared to, you know, this is a very small wave 4, you know what I mean? measuring a wave 4 in centimeters and inches. That's an interesting approach. Pleasure, elite vultures. Can you place the? Oh yeah, we answered that one. Revenge trading could be hopeless. Oh yeah, that is how revenge trading is how I had my first big loss. Back in the day, it was revenge trading. Revenge trading, and I guess. Yeah, it was so mainly it didn't start with, it was FOMO. It started with FOMO and being insecure of what happens, and then as I started losing a bit, that's when the revenge trading came as well. Yeah. Fibonacci. Oh yeah. You always pull a fib from the left to the right on a chart. So you always pull it from some area on the left to some area on the right. And in this impulse, these fibs are taken. I'm not sure if I should explain Elliott waves here, because using fibs with Elliott waves is a little bit different, because you want to find certain wave retracements. Let's do a general explanation, right? So a Fibonacci is pulled from the left side to the right side of a chart. If you pull a fib from this high, and you know, usually from a high to a low, no? From the high to the low, right? You have your standard Fibonacci set pretty much. And these fibs can act as resistance. Depends on your trading strategy, what you're looking for. We ranged below the 05, little order block at the golden pocket, little range at the 886, 786, and we continued. Now, of course, this is an example where the fibs failed, no? But nonetheless, that's how you pull it, from the left to the right. Same here, from the left to the right, right? We have a first wave up, but that's Elliott wave knowledge. So you can do from the left, from the low to the high. Right, and then you have your overall fib pool. And your general Fibonacci's are 236, 382, 05, golden pocket, 786, 886. So you take a fib from the left to the right, from either a high low or a low high. Right, it depends what you're looking for. If you look for support, let's reframe. If you're looking for support, you pull it from a low to a high. That is when the fibs act as support. If you're looking for resistance, you're pulling it from the left to the right, but from a high to a low. So support is from the left to the right, from a low to a high, and resistance is from the left to the right, but from a high to a low. What's safe first, 40k or 60k? Well, you cannot use exact numbers, first of all. Probabilities at the moment are higher to still continue to the upside and take this high before eventually moving down to lower prices. The question is, do we first reach 60k before moving down to potentially 40k? We don't know, because it depends on the move to the upside that you get after taking this high. So currently the highest probability is that you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4 and eventually a wave 5. Now if wave 3 ends at 53k, right, and we're going to be looking for a wave 5 to the upside, let's see, 55k, right, unless we get a bit deeper, but you don't want to go too deep. So let's say the target area here, then your max target 55.2. If you take a what is it, trend-based SIP from the low to the high to the low here, toggle on the 0.618, then your target is 58. And if you take a trend-based SIP from the low to the high of 1 to the low of 4, toggle on the 1 to 1, that's in the middle. So 54. So none of these are touching 60 at the moment. Doesn't mean it can't happen. We have to observe the next move to the upside in that case. I don't know what 9 inches is. Is the 9 inches on log scale? I don't know what, so it doesn't matter, log or not log. If I do this, probably you put a measurement tape and you gotta measure the width of my screen or the height of my screen, no? And your screen. But if your screen is bigger than my screen, you have more inches at the moment on your screen than my screen. If you're watching this on a mobile phone, then currently this is less inches. I don't know, why are people saying inch? Like, it doesn't make sense in the chart, like measuring the chart by inches. How does that work? I have no idea. Of course we want to measure it by price, no? Like price. First, Bitcoin is definitely going to the right. That's correct. There's 100% probability for Bitcoin going right compared to left. Have you experimented with harmonics? I did. So I started with Elliott Waves very early in my career, and because by the time I heard of harmonics, I already had a certain skill level, I suppose, in Elliott Waves. I learned a few things about harmonics, but the only one I remember is the Gartley Golden Pocket 786 turnaround. I don't use harmonics because of Elliott Waves, pretty much. I guess it can complement one another, but because of my Elliott Waves knowledge, I never really got into harmonics. Because of course harmonics is also a way of analyzing waves, I suppose. So yeah. How is the rule? No, the first of all, it's not a rule, it's a guideline, right? So wave 4 most commonly is longer than wave 2. Wave 2 tends to be rule of alternation. So that's the rule you gotta find. Rule of alternation says if wave 2 is short, deep, and simple, wave 4 has a higher probability of being shallow, complex, and long. If wave 2 is long, complex, shallow, wave 4 has a higher probability of being short, simple, and deep. So it's a guideline, but it's not a certainty, right? Can you do ETH analysis? Do I still have that link? There you go. That's my big altcoin stream, 6.5 hours yesterday, and ETH is one of them. The process of Bitcoin is currently 52,000 inches. Exactly. Implying a big candle. Oh, I see. I don't know why 9-inch wick. Who came with that term? Like that thing. What would your bullish scenario be for the macro for the next 1 to 2 years? Analyze this at the beginning of the live stream dealing. We spoke about it. And also where it then potentially tops out. And we also later spoke about 2026, which then would be a bear market. So we started with the cycle in this live stream. So the monthly, then the weekly, then the daily, then the 4 hour, then the 1 hour and 15 minute. So it's at the beginning. Regarding Fibonacci time analysis, do we need to select specific highs and lows, or can you just choose any candle? No, you have to choose, because Fibonacci time, I mean, it depends how you use it, I suppose. But if you use it in Elliott waves, you have to use specific highs and lows that you identify as the beginning or the end of a wave structure. So with this bullish scenario here, you can only pull this fib time from the high to the low of 2 and on the high of 3, because now I want to compare 2 with 4 Elliott waves, rule of alternation, right? So very specifically, it has to be from the start of 2 to the end of 2 to the end of 3. You can't check wave 4 differently. The only alternative is that you use wave 3. So from the low to the high of 3, and then you double click here to compare wave 4 with wave 3. That is a less common measurement for a wave 4, as most commonly it's used against the 2. But it is nonetheless a measurement you could do. So, but nonetheless, then you take it from the low to the high of 3. So you specifically take these pivots. So yeah, the pivots are indeed, especially in Elliott waves, very specific with regards to fib time. Yeah. Best next entry? That depends on your plan. You say many times, when price is A6, we get a pullback to the golden pocket. Does that also apply? Yeah, that it's common. Yes, it's common. Does that also apply to the 236 as support, as in a retrace back to the golden? Well, the 236 doesn't have. So with the 8, so the thing is, the 886 is of course below. Wait, let me go standard here. Price moves down, hits the 886. Oftentimes you'll see it move to the golden pocket and then either continue or go up and then continue later. But with the 236, there's no golden pocket of the same pool, because this is the golden pocket from the same pool, right? So I pulled these fibs just now from the low from a low to a high. And then price breaks the golden pocket, touches the 886, retests the golden pocket. But with the 236, you don't have a golden pocket above, right? It's below. So I can't answer that question. It's not so. Also, the 886 to the golden pocket, that's not Elliott wave knowledge. That is experience and a bit of data. So the 236 to a golden pocket is not possible in the same pool, because you would have to break the 236, go down to the golden pocket first. Yeah. What's up, Barbie? How are you doing? Oh, I see. 7 more likes to reach 100. We close. Also online for 1.5 hours. So I think I do have to call it a day. 95 likes, 5 more for the 100. But yeah, I do have to go because I have other stuff as well mentioned earlier. Preferably online for about an hour, see if we get some action. But yeah, not too much action on the chart. So yeah, wait and see if maybe later today something happens. Tonight there's going to be, of course, a new update at like 7 to 8 p.m. Central European time. Bitcoin, of course. So let's see what happens in the meantime. And we are at 99 likes. Who's going to be the number 100? Yeah, 99. Jeez. Waiting. Yo, there we go. There we go. Number 100. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Yeah, everyone, thanks for being here. We covered, if you missed it, I'll put a time step at 12:30. But if you missed it, we covered the cycle, monthly, and then the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, and the 1-hour scenarios in that order as well, with the probabilities at the end. While also when I talk about it, I also talk about probabilities. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you spending some time on this Monday. And I'm going to catch you at the next one. And the next stream will be tomorrow. Let me quickly check here. Yes, of course. The next stream will be tomorrow. And tonight a regular update, normal update video. And then tomorrow another live stream. So see you then for sure. Cheers.